Hi there, my name is Jelle. Welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about the 6 tips to improve your creativity. Let's just get right into it. Tip number 1, we need to challenge our assumptions. A great way how Mark Twain said it is, just because you're taught that something's right and everyone believes it's right, it don't make it right. For example, back in the caveman days, we made weapons. And those weapons were powerful. And at that moment we believed those weapons to be the best weapons that we got. But if you bring those weapons back here in the modern times, you won't stand a chance. We even have so great weapons such as the atomic bomb that can just blow up a whole country in seconds. Just thinking outside of weapons, of course. Traveling. Horses. They were the fastest creature that we had for a long time. And in order to get faster, if we don't challenge assumptions, we're just going to make better genetic horses. But nowadays, we have cars. And cars are way faster than horses. But once again, why challenge that assumption? If we're not going to challenge the assumption, then we're only going to think, how can we go faster? Well, we'll have to make a faster car. But maybe there's something way easier than a car. For example, teleportation can be a thing in the future that will be really helpful. But it can also be something completely different that we haven't thought of. Another great way to challenge assumptions is to ask the 5 whys. And what do I mean with that? For example, let's take the statement above it. We did not hit the target this month. So we can make assumptions of that. We can make an assumption of maybe the employers are lazy, or we got a new rival. But let's just ask questions, especially the 5 whys. So, why did we not hit the target this month? Well, the store was closed for 2 days. Okay, why was the store closed for 2 days? The CEO came through and said the store was too dirty and needed to be truly cleaned. Okay, why was the store dirty then? Well, the overnight cleaners did not come through as scheduled. Okay, why didn't they come through? The cleaners were having car trouble the week the CEO came through. Okay, and just one for good measure, why did they have car troubles? Well, the mechanic had hired the first-year apprentice who was not familiar with the car brand. And there you will see what the actual problem was instead of just assuming what it could be. So let's go further. Tip number 2, combining ideas. We all do it, even though we don't think about it. Especially maybe you're at work and you got some hobbies, you got some sports, and sometimes you'll notice something in those hobbies and in sports you think, hey, I could use that in my work as well. We go back one more time to the caveman era to really show how combining ideas got us further along in evolution. Here we have a stick. A stick is a great tool. You can swing it around, you can hit people with it. Overall, a great invention. Then we got the rock. Some rocks are pretty sharp. You could throw them. They could hurt pretty well. But what if we combine those things? Well, then we get an axe. An axe is a great tool, because an axe you can use to cut wood. And you can also use it to kill animals to obtain meat. Now, we can even combine those things. With the wood, we can make fire to heat the cells up. But we can also use it to cook our meat. And then, let's go one step further. We can make that meat more tasty by combining it with salt or honey. Just one more example from the modern day. Here, this is something I came by last week. You see China building a 57-story high building in 19 days. That's really impressive for how fast that is. And what did they do? They used a lot of cranes, and they also used really easy building blocks that just snapped onto each other. And it really reminded me of Lego. Then we go to tip number 3, and that is finding new perspectives. We all got sometimes a great idea, and we're going to work on it, and then, we get stuck. So how can we get unstuck? Well, a lot of times we just try to work further and spend days wasting our time because we can't find a way to find a better solution. So what we need to do is we need to talk with people. Everyone is different, even though you might not always think that way, but everyone has a real different opinion on all certain topics, even if we look alike. Just talk with people about your ideas, and you will notice that they all have creative solutions to find a way to fix it. What's also as important is don't limit yourself in things. Don't just talk to only your families and friends, but find new people there to talk to as well. Step out of your comfort zone. You can go to a new event or go to a new cursus that you've never been to, that's normally not in your comfort zone, but here you will find the magic. You will find new things, you learn about different people that have different sets of rules in their life, and just whenever you go to something that you don't think you like, you always have a good story to talk about how different it was from what you normally go to. So, now we have tip number 4, and this is to destroy your limitations. Especially in the early stages, you have to think way bigger. And a way to do that is to destroy your limitations. Think of yourself as a superhero. Don't limit yourself. If you have a problem, how would a superhero fix it? They have a limited amount of money. They have all the power in the world. And if you had those resources, you could fix your problem like this, this, or this. And this is great. It won't always work for every idea, but you always get a little more insight about your idea and about ways how we can actually fix it. Then tip number 5 is the complete opposite of tip number 4, and this is to go back in your box. And what I mean with that is we get more creative whenever we think about limitations. So for example, you only have a cardboard box and you need to make a plane. Well, then this cardboard box suddenly isn't just a cardboard box anymore. It's all your resources that you can use to make a creative plane. If you want to look at good examples of people who can do this, go look at children. Children are amazing of finding new creative ways to use the tools that are available to you. For example, in this picture, this child didn't have any paper. Well, he found a nice white wall, and this is now his drawing board. Last tip, touch grass. And what do I mean with that? Is go outside, go do something else, than work on your project constantly. We all know it, whenever we're in the shower, we get way more creative. Now, why is that? And this is funny because, why it is, it's funny because when we don't think about topics, we can get our best in our creative thinking. So whenever you're not forced to think, you can just relax. That's when you get great ideas. And that's the complicated issue with creativity as well. Thank you for watching. I hope these tips helped. And thank you again. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.